What's up, beautiful people? Today I'm bringing to you some more smoke. This one is titled GOP Rep Says Yes to Biden Impeachment. It's happening. Let's get to it.
Welcome back. A D.C. judge deciding that March 4th is the date for President Trump's election interference trial. The trial is expected to begin on March 4th, which is one day before Super Tuesday, one of the biggest primary voting days in any given election cycle. Trump's legal team wanted it to start in April of 2026, but with this ruling, they say it will not give the team enough time to provide adequate representation, seeing all of the evidence and going through discovery process. Joining me right now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. He's a member of the House Oversight and Financial Services Committee. He's also the House Freedom Caucus member as well. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. You have had access to a lot more information than we have, being on the House Oversight Committee. So I want you to give us your take on what you've learned about the Biden family and compare that to what we've learned about all of these attacks on Trump for indictments.
Well, look, Maria, it's good to be with you. What we've learned about the Biden family is very simple, that Joe Biden and his son set up a web of corruption around the vice presidency and around Joe Biden so they could shake down these companies that are overseas and shake down these foreign governments. It's really that simple. They set up 20 LLCs to do so. They set up a web of accounts to do this, to conceal the money from the American people and conceal the money from the IRS. Hunter Biden was getting on planes with his father, getting on Air Force Two. He wasn't flying Delta overseas. He was on Air Force Two. And every time Joe Biden went into a country, surprise, surprise, Hunter Biden was getting a deal with somebody in that country, somebody that he met with. Then we found out that Joe Biden actually has other emails that are aliases of Joe Biden, Robert L. Peters being one of them. So this is the way that Joe Biden was communicating through the back door, and we're trying to get those emails right now. We know through Devin Archer, Joe Biden actually was on the phone. He went to Cafe Milano. He met with the widow of the Moscow mayor. And so all this demonstrates that there was a massive pay-for-play scheme set up by Joe Biden, in my view. Hunter Biden's the bag man, but Joe Biden is the actual big guy. And that's what you have here. Compare that with what they're doing in federal court and in Georgia with Donald Trump, where they have all these weird conspiracy-laden theories to bring indictments. This is nuts. And what this judge in D.C. is doing is worse, because she actually is playing politics. To be honest with you, Maria, I've never seen a court move this fast to bring a trial. Only way I've seen it move this fast is if the defendant requests it. But that's not what's occurred here. She wants to interfere in this election, and she is using her courtroom to do it.
Yeah, and it's questionable the fact that they all...
What do you guys think? You think this is really election interference? Yeah, I mean, if they're really not scared of Trump, they don't have to interfere. They should just make it free and fair, hoping they win. I mean, if I'm going against somebody, that's how I'll see it, right? I'll see it like I'm the best person, I'm the better person, and hopefully I win. So yeah, if you're not afraid of Trump, go against him and see, and then you can try him. I would think so, right?
Wanted March 4th, right? So, the election interference judge says we want to have the trial begin on March 4th. Georgia, Fani Willis also wanted it to begin on March 4th, the day before the Super Tuesday. The White House is refusing to comment on whether or not Hunter Biden was selling access to then, Vice President Joe Biden, his father. And yet, we have all of this evidence that you're talking about from the House Oversight Committee. Are you poised to vote yes for an impeachment inquiry? Because if all of this is true, I'm questioning why Joe Biden is still running the country if, in fact, he accepted a bribe.
Oh, no, I'm more than willing and ready to vote yes for an impeachment inquiry. This is exactly where the House should take these matters. We've done extensive work through the Oversight Committee with the help of our colleagues in Judiciary and in Ways and Means, Chairman Jordan and Chairman Smith. So we've done that work. Now is the time to pull it all together. And I'm serious about this, Maria. I think if there is one real charge, it's actually a RICO charge against Joe Biden. Because you cannot have a situation where The son is making money. The brother's making money. The family's getting checks delivered to
Whole
them
family
all over the
business.
place. Wire transfers are going here and there. There's no business model. Hunter Biden's not a registered foreign agent. He's violated FARA the same way they dragged Paul Manafort through the mud and threw Paul Manafort in jail because they tried to get Paul Manafort to flip on Donald Trump. That's what's been going on with the Biden family, and the Department of Justice has been covering up for this. The FBI did not do full investigations over this, and so it is incumbent for House Republicans to step up and get the job done for the American people.
I spoke with Kevin McCarthy on Sunday, and the Speaker of the House suggested to me that that impeachment inquiry is coming this September. Here's what he said. Will you bring an impeachment inquiry against President Biden this September?
If you look at all the information we've been able to gather so far, it is a natural step forward that you would have to go to an impeachment inquiry. And just so your viewers understand what that means, that provides Congress the apex of legal power to get all the information they need. Because remember what's laying out there right now. We have an attorney general that could have lied to the American public.
Congressman, I want to get your take on what's happening in terms of the people out there. Do you think people understand and agree with you on this two applications of the law? There is a video running online. I saw it on Instagram, I believe, and it's of Black Americans talking about the two systems of justice, talking about, look, if you continue to indict, we're going to continue to unite. One of those people in those videos joined Jesse last night on Fox News. Take a listen.
What's being done to Donald Trump has been done to us. So I think it's like resonating with a lot of my people in ways that the Democratic Party probably didn't, like they probably didn't envision that.
Yeah, we didn't run all of them, but Congressman, there were a lot of people who said a similar sentiment than what you just heard from that person there. What's your sense of this? Is Black America siding with Trump right now?
Not totally, but I think it's definitely starting to build, especially with Black men. Look, the Democrats have had issues with Black men for quite some time now because their party believes it's okay to trans children, and Black men are just not for that whatsoever. They're like, man, are you kidding me? My boy is a boy, my girl is a girl. Leave my children alone. So, and then you couple that with the fact that Joe Biden's been a disastrous president, especially on the economy. So those are two big reasons why Black men are already starting to give a side eye to Joe Biden and the Democrats. You bring in the fact that now they are weaponizing the justice system against Donald Trump while giving Joe Biden's son a pass. I mean, this guy's gotten all the passes in the world. People see that's just gross unfairness. So I think it's not just Black voters in our country. I think there's a lot of voters in our country, independents, suburban women, Hispanic men, whatever. People see the unfairness going on with this Department of Justice. And I will say, I agree with the last point that Kevin McCarthy made. I believe Merrick Garland has lied to Congress, and I believe that the Department of Justice has been obstructing justice. And if what has been coming out the last couple of days is true, that there were elements of the Department of Justice coordinating and communicating with the White House, with the White House counsel, White House counsel's office. Let me be specific on that.
Yeah. That's incredible, Congressman. I mean, the things that are happening today are just stunning. And I don't think, look, I agree with you that 1 year is not enough time for both sides to have access to the information. I mean, when you consider the discovery process, the other side, the Trump legal team, is going to have access to all of the discovery items that, the DOJ has. So I can't see a trial happening before the election. And that's what Alan Dershowitz and Jonathan Turley have said as well. But I don't think anybody can tell you how this is going to play out. Even though Trump's ratings have been going up in the middle of this, I asked President Trump when I had him on a couple of weeks ago, how he's going to campaign. Are they bleeding him dry in terms of his money? Here's what he told me in the face of all of this.
They want to try and damage my name so that I can't win the election. But so far, the people of our country see it. And my numbers have gone up as opposed to down because the people see it. It's a terrible thing. They've weaponized the Department of Justice.
Congressman, there are speculators out there who are saying now they just want to get Trump's name off the ballot. I mean, honestly, what do you think? How is this going to play out?
If they get his name off the ballot, would they drop the charges? I think somebody said that in the comment section one time. Yeah, that was an interesting comment. Somebody asked, or somebody mentioned that if Donald Trump chooses not to run for the election, that he's going to be good. That all the problems he's facing right now is because he's running for the election and he wants to be president. And he's so formidable that they are afraid of what he brings to the table. Yeah, so let me know what you think about that point. If Donald Trump at this point stops running, do you think they would start cutting the cases, or in fact even dropping all the charges, as a matter of fact?
Ballot. I mean, honestly, what do you think? How is this going to play out? The election is in November 2024. Will he be the nominee?
Donald Trump's going to be the nominee. Frankly, I think it's going to pretty much be sewn up by the time we get to Florida. But let me also say this. The Democrats have been lecturing the American people about wanting to save our democracy for years now. But they are the ones that are destroying our democracy and destroying our institutions. Our country was never created to have its power wielded against a citizen of the country like this. It's never was created for this. It's created for the government to actually be restrained so that the people have free movement in our country. So when you have this is one of the most disastrous things you can do for a democratic republic. It is incumbent upon Republicans, Donald Trump being our nominee, and frankly, voters in our country who are not Republican, independent voters and Democrat voters, to get our country back on track, because this is not the way the United States of America should be operating. You want to disagree with Donald Trump? Disagree with him all day long. But you do not turn the power of the Department of Justice against him or any other citizen purely for political retribution. It is flat out wrong.
Unbelievable. And by the way, the New York Post this morning, Congressman, is reporting that the National Archives has 5,400 Biden emails in which he uses a fake name to dish government information to his son. We know those pseudonyms. We talked about these pseudonyms: Robert Ware,
Really?
Robert L. Peters, J.R.B. Ware. He was doing emails, 5,000 of them at the National Archives.
I mean, look, Joe Biden sounds like he's a pro wrestler. He's got like 10 other names. I thought you were going to bring out Coco Beware for people who remember pro wrestling, Coco Beware back in the day. This is wrong. And so what Farah needs to do, and as we understand it, Barack Obama has to sign off on this to allow these emails to be released from NARA to Congress. And President Obama should go ahead and do that. Because when you have the vice president at the time having all these aliases and emails, what's he trying to hide? We need to find out.
Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks.
5,000 other emails archived. That's crazy. Like, everything just sounds so fishy. Like, I know if you want to play politics, you can play that in government, but when you bring it to the justice system, it doesn't sound right. Everything just sounds confusing. If you had to write a book or a movie about this, it's going to feel like somebody wrote Inception parts 10, because it's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's like there's a crime on this side and there's no crime on this side, but everything just switched, and it's like the side that is... I'm not even going to go into that, but you know what I mean. Let me know what you think about that. It's very, very concerning. Very, very concerning. And these allegations on the president of America, if this unfolds and it turns out the emails had something that could implicate him, it's going to be a big deal, especially to all of us watching. I'm not in America, but to all of us watching from the outside, it's going to be like, ooh. So with everything he's been doing around the world, he was wrong as well. I don't know if you get that. You know, with the sanctions on Russia and the sanctions on other people, and also if you've noticed, Western nations like to train others about democracy. So if this happens in their nation, it's going to be like, oh, so you do this and you're coming to train us about democracy. So it's not a good look. That's what I mean. It's not a good look for America. Anyways, whoever is responsible, whoever committed a crime, they should be held accountable, regardless if he's on the Trump or Biden camp. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm not in America. I have nothing to gain. So yeah, they should be held accountable if they committed a crime, whoever. But at this point, it's looking too fishy and too politicized, you know. This is the end of this video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
I made this bed on my own.